3 months after a company turned down a DNS security tool, I was standing in their office reconstructing a DNS poisoning attack. Wasn't there for the pitch, I was there for the forensics. And the tool they said no to would have stopped it. Here's how it went. The tool got pitched, it got rejected. 3 months later, they got hit. I'll walk you through exactly what happened in between. Before we go further, here's who this is for. Junior SOC analysts, if you get frustrated when leadership won't approve the tools you know you need, this explains why and what to do about it. IT pros moving into security, this is your first real lesson for shaping intelligence for its audience, not just getting it right. GRC and vendor evaluators, this shows you what happens on the other side when a pitch fails. Most programs never climb this ladder. 3 rungs: data, information, intelligence. Data is raw. 50,000 IP addresses flagged as malicious, cheap, abundant, and automated. Information is data with context. Narrow those to the 300 tied to one specific actor group. But intelligence, well, that's where it answers the decision. 12 of those IPs are talking to your network right now, and here's what to do in the next 24 hours. That DNS tool pitch was full of data, full of information, but it never got turned into intelligence for that CIO or CFO. Threat intelligence isn't one thing, it's 4, each for a different audience, each with a different shelf life. Strategic is for the board and executives. It drives decisions that last years. Operational intelligence is for security leadership, and that's good for months. Tactical intelligence is for analysts. It's measured in days or weeks. Then technical intelligence, that's for tools and detection engineers. It's stale in hours. Here's the mistake. That DNS tool got pitched at the technical tier to a strategic audience. The CIO and CFO needed a strategic case, and they got a technical one. So what did the mismatch actually cost? Well, the pitch was rejected. That meant 3 months with no additional DNS protection. Then the DNS poisoning attack hit. Forensic investigation, incident response plans got activated. That's when I got brought in. I traced it back, and the attack that hit was one that the rejected tool would very likely have caught or prevented. Here's the lucky part. Other controls held, so the damage was contained to the cost of the investigation. But that cost, plus the lost time, plus eventually buying the tool anyway under worse conditions, that's the price of the original tier mismatch. For context, one industry survey puts the average DNS attack at around $942,000. Even a contained incident lands in that range once you count the investigation and the response. Here's the fix. A pitch to a CIO and CFO does not lead with features. It leads with the decision and the risk. Start with a specific threat the tool addresses for the organization, not DNS threats in general, their threats. Name the cost of not acting. What's the exposure if we say no? Then name the cost of the tool so they can weigh it against exposure. The technical details still matter, but it sits underneath as a backup, not as the headline. The same instinct that pitches tools at the wrong tier makes teams chase low-value indicators instead of high-value techniques. Wrong altitude, wasted effort. The tool wasn't rejected because it was wrong. It was rejected because nobody translated it into a decision a CIO or CFO could act on. 3 months later, that gap got tested for real. The gap was the tier, not the tool. So here's the rule. Before you pitch anything to leadership, know which tier they need, build the case at that altitude, not the tier that you're most comfortable talking in. One practical takeaway. I built a tier mapping worksheet, 4 rows, 1 for each tier. You can use it before your next vendor pitch or budget conversation. For each tier, name the consumer of the data, the decision it supports, the format, and the cadence. If you can't fill a row, there's your gap. It's a free download, link in the description. Subscribe if you want more of these breakdowns. That's it.